Welcome back. My name is Jay Oza. I teach, mentor, and coach people on public speaking so that they can give winning high stakes speeches, whether it's for a job interview, a business meeting, or at a conference in front of a large audience. I want to give you a job interview tip. And again, this tip applies for just about anything. And the tip is extract a no quickly. Get a no from the other person quickly. Now, what do I mean by that? I think one of the things we all fall into the trap is when we meet with people, we want to be very nice. And I agree, you want to be nice to people. But nice doesn't mean you want to get pushed around either. You want to keep advancing till you get that first resistance, a no. Now, when you interview with people, they play all kinds of games with you, like they'll ask you all kinds of questions and see how you respond. Well, this is your chance to test them. And this is a very important test. It's not that first you want to know how far can you go before you get that first no. And I'll give you an example later. But the no, okay, so you get the no. Now what do? There are two questions that you have to ask. Why? And what can you possibly do to maybe turn that into a yes? And if not yes, perhaps a maybe. Okay, so let me explain why you want to do this. In any situation, you are going to have a conflict. And what you want to find out is when somebody says no, how are they going to explain that no? Have they even thought about it? So the first question is, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're talking to a manager, you had phone interviews, and the manager says, hey, I'd like you to come over for a face-to-face. Now, when they say face-to-face coming over, they're asking for an official, where they're going to make a decision. You say, let's do this. Why don't we meet, you and me, you and the manager, off-site, either early for breakfast or after work, not for breakfast, for coffee, or after work for a coffee. Okay? Simple as that. And the person is like, this is not a big ask. This is a simple ask. It should be yes, right? But let's say the person says no. No, you know what? We'd rather have you come in and spend time with us. And he's saying, well, why can't we do that? Why can't we just meet and just see whether we're compatible before we move to that next step? Now, at this point, from your perspective, this is a no-brainer. Meeting early for a breakfast is not a big deal, or for coffee is not a big deal. Spend half hour, get to know the person before you decide to go for an official. But if the person gives you an answer which is not really plausible, like, oh, but our policy is this and our policy is that, what you're trying to test is how does that person explain the no? Okay? And then the person says, it's just not going to be my schedule. So then you say, well, I'm very flexible. What will it take for us to have a 1 hour off-site meeting just to get to know each other? What would it take? So now you put them in a spot. And if the person is still not able to come to some common agreement, that tells you a lot that this person, when you go work for them, is not going to be very flexible. And you got to make the call. What do you want to do with that? So you want to test for a no, but it's not just the no for the sake of testing it. It's how they respond to the no. How do they explain the no? And do they have any sense of looking at your argument for potential maybe, potential yes? How can you turn it around if you have a good argument? Are they even willing to listen to it? So test the no. You've got to test the no. If you're not testing the no, you are not doing a good job as a candidate or as anything in any situation. You've got to test for no, even in personal life. The no means that there's an opportunity for that person now to explain. The why comes in. And then you say, okay, what can I possibly do to turn that into a yes or potential maybe? So now that person's got to dig deeper and explain it. So you have to put the person to test the no. If you test the no often, you're going to succeed. Think about this and let me know. Thank you for watching and good luck.